Hey you're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo Podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. Here's the clip. But we need to talk about Dustin Poirier. In my opinion, he is the true lightweight GOAT. There's no lightweight better than Dustin Poirier. The man who had all the potential in the world to claim the title, but never actually had it. His last shot at gold was last year against Islam Makhachev. Recent news has come out about that fight where things could have had a different outcome according to one factor, which we will touch on later in the episode. But for now, let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with talking about Dustin Poirier. Dustin motherfucking Poirier. Oh my lord. What a gentleman he is. Dustin Poirier has had a total of 31 fights in the UFC with a record of 22, 8, and 1. His last 13 fights were all either main events or co-main events, except for UFC 298, where he fought Michael Chandler in the feature right before the co-main event. Here is the list of opponents from most recent to oldest in those 13 fights that he has just had. Okay? Starting with the most recent one, Islam Makhachev, it was a title fight. Benoit Saint-Denis, it was a co-main event. Justin Gaethje, it was for the BMF title. Michael Chandler, it was the feature event. Charles Oliveira, title. Conor McGregor, main event. Conor McGregor, main event. Dan Hooker, main event. Khabib Nurmagomedov, main event. Max Holloway, interim title. Eddie Alvarez, main event. Justin Gaethje, main event. Anthony Pettis, main event. What the heck, dude? This is cream in my khakis right now. He's earned 5 Performance of the Night bonuses and 7 Fight of the Night bonuses. 53% of his wins are by knockout. He is ranked number 26 greatest MMA fighter of all time, number 9 greatest striker of all time, and currently is number 6 in the lightweight division. I love Chandler. I love Dustin Poirier. He's the man, dude. He is the absolute man, and it's coming to an end. And it saddens me that it's coming to an end. I don't want to see this guy leave. I don't want to see him leave yet. It's not time. He's not ready. It shouldn't be this way. He needs to stick around. Keep him here, Dana. Keep him here. And here's a wild stat. Another wild stat about Dustin Poirier. He's never had 2 losses in a row. Not once in his entire career. Not once. And, get my mouse back over here. And he's been ranked in the lightweight division for the past 9 years straight. He's never not been ranked, motherfucker. And now, this weekend, he'll be fighting Max Holloway for the 3rd fucking time. And Max, by the way, has been in the UFC almost as long as Dustin Poirier. He made his debut in 2012, almost exactly 1 year after Poirier. And guess what? Dustin was Max's very first opponent in the UFC. Huh? That debut didn't last long, though. Just 3 minutes and 23 seconds into round 1, Dustin submitted Max with a triangle armbar. And that win earned them their first UFC bonuses. Both of them. Now fast forward to 2019, Dustin and Max met again. But this time, it's not a 3-round prelim fight. No. They're much older, they're much more wiser, they're much more experienced. It's a 5-round war, and it was the main event for the interim lightweight champion. All right? Now, if you remember that time, it was one of the most chaotic and unforgettable eras in UFC. Maybe the most memorable eras in UFC. Because it was when Khabib had just defended the lightweight belt against Conor McGregor. Remember that? Iconic moment. Maybe the most iconic moment in UFC history. And when Khabib did defend that belt against Conor McGregor, all hell broke loose. Okay, immediately after submitting Conor McGregor, Khabib leapt out of the cage and attacked Dillon Danis in the crowd. Then Khabib's teammates stormed in and started brawling with Conor. The whole thing was absolute madness. And the Nevada State Athletic Commission came down hard, suspending Khabib for 9 months with a $500,000 fine. And his teammates Abubakar Nurmagomedov and Zabara Takhagov got a full year of suspension each. So Khabib refused to return unless his teammates were treated fairly, saying, "If you're going to punish my brothers, I won't fight until their suspensions are up as well." So the UFC needed to move on with the lightweight title. And it was effectively frozen because Khabib refused to fight, which led to Dustin and Max Holloway fighting for the interim belt. That fight in April 2019 between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier for the interim title was pretty insane. In round 1, Dustin cracked Max with an uppercut. Actually, it was an uppercut hook combo that nearly ended it. He dominated the early rounds while Max kept pushing forward. You know, he's a fucking tank. You can't knock that guy down unless you're Ilia Topuria. But they went the full 5 rounds. Dustin then won and was awarded the interim title. Okay? So although Dustin was not the undisputed, he did have the interim. Both men got Fight of the Night bonuses, and it was later nominated as Fight of the Year. And later that year, Khabib did actually return. His suspension was up, and so were his teammates, so he did return. And that was Dustin's new task. He had to unify the belt against one of the most dominant champions in UFC history. Khabib and Dustin Poirier fought in September of 2019, and while most expected a dominant win from Khabib, it wasn't that easy for him. In round 3, Dustin Poirier caught Khabib in a deep guillotine, standing at first and dropping to the mat, squeezing for dear life. The crowd erupted. It looked dangerously close, but Khabib, calm as ever, adjusted and then slipped out. And he did this right in front of Khabib's father. Khabib's father was right there watching, and Khabib said, "I cannot let him choke me out in front of my father." And he didn't. And then minutes later, Khabib got Dustin's back and submitted him by rear naked choke. And there it was. Dustin's dream of becoming the undisputed lightweight champion was absolutely crushed. But he didn't stop there. He bounced back with a 3-fight win streak following that loss, including a 5-round war with Dan Hooker, and 2 finishes over Conor McGregor, one by knockout and the other via doctor's stoppage after breaking Conor's ankle. A moment that to this day marked Conor's last fight. Conor has not fought since Dustin Poirier broke his fucking leg. Dustin ended the Conor McGregor reign. He ended it. All right? Now Dustin's back on his feet. He's got his momentum again. So here came another shot at gold. In December of 2021, Dustin faced Charles Oliveira, who had just claimed the vacant title after beating Chandler. Round 1 looked great for Dustin. He rocked Oliveira multiple times, almost finished it. But by round 2, Oliveira took control with clinch work and elbows. Then in round 3, he jumped on Dustin's back and again secured another rear naked choke, finishing it. Again, another heartbreak, another opportunity lost. Dustin still didn't get the belt. So Dustin got back on that train and started to build his momentum again. He followed that loss with a win over Michael Chandler. Then he had a loss to Justin Gaethje for the BMF belt. Then he had another gritty, fucking hardcore win against Benoit Saint-Denis. Remember, he's never had 2 losses in a row. If he loses, he'll win immediately after. And that leads us to June 1st, 2024. His most recent fight. A title shot against Islam Makhachev. Khabib is gone by this point. Islam is the new king. Trained by Khabib, built from the same mold, maybe even better, some would say. And this fight, this was it. This was Dustin's final shot for the title. And he fought hard. He stuffed a lot of takedowns. Landed counters, defended well. But in round 5, with just over 2 minutes left, Islam wrapped up a Darce choke that he's absolutely famous for and forced the tap. And as I mentioned earlier in the episode, it was later found out by Dustin himself that he had entered that fight with a broken rib. Everyone told him not to do it, but he said, "No, I'm going through with it." That's why this next fight is so emotional, so significant. I'm talking about this weekend, 318. Dustin Poirier is an absolute legend, one of, if not the greatest lightweights of all time. Some would say, just based on his resume alone. And yet this weekend, he's not even fighting for legacy. Not for a title that matters, just for the fucking BMF title. This fight is poetic, dude. Max Holloway was Dustin Poirier's first UFC opponent. Now Dustin will end his career fighting Max once again. But what if this isn't the end? Here's a theory. Shout out to my buddy Dallin for this. What if Dustin's only retiring if he loses? Think about it. He's been saying all the right things. Retirement is on his mind. Nearly or had 50 pro fights. It makes sense. But what if he knocks out Max cold? Just like Max did to Justin Gaethje at UFC 300. You know it's going to be a war between Max and Dustin. But if Dustin delivers a highlight knockout reel, what if he gets on the mic and instead of saying goodbye, he just calls out Ilia Topuria? Imagine that. Max was his first fight. Ilia could be his last. Max was not his first fight. What am I saying? Dustin was Max's first fight. But Ilia could be his last. Honestly, I hope this happens. I don't want to see Dustin go. Not yet. Win or lose, seeing him walk away is going to hurt. You know what I mean? If he wins this weekend and retires, it's like, but you didn't get it. You didn't get the belt. You didn't get the belt yet. And then if he loses, it's like, no. He's leaving on a loss. Come on. So what do you think? Is this actually the last ride for Dustin Poirier? Or is he about to flip the script and give us one more epic chapter? What do you think?
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.